huge crowd. It's not, a crowd that's going to give you that motivation. You're going to have to find that motivation from within yourselves tonight. But I've no doubt this group of Luton Town players can, because every time I come and watch them, they show the desire, enthusiasm and passion for the club. And I love the FA Cup, and I would love to see Luton progress in this competition. We'll see how motivated they are. I suppose in these early stages we'll see the attitude, because it's important for both teams to start this game well, or else it can become a little bit lethargic, so to speak. So we're hoping for a quick start from Luton, close down, get the tackles in, and see if we can set the tempo for a good evening.
Right then, we are underway on all of our frequencies on BBC Three Counties Radio, and because it's the FA Cup, just a reminder, and we do like to point this out because we can't do it when it's Football League matches, you can listen online anywhere in the UK. You're going to be able to listen to us on your tablet, on your smartphone, on your device, whatever it is. If you've got the computer out, then you can hear us on there as well. So if you're going out, take your phone with you and then just click on the link. BBC Sport Online, the FA commentaries are in there, and then you'll hear us crystal clear. Luton looking to progress to the fourth round as Wigan clear in defence. We're underway. Osho wins his first header, and Jordan Clark then just nips the ball back to Doughty over on that left-hand side. Infield to Watson. Watson goes backwards to Amari Bell. Played a lot of games this season, Amari Bell, for Luton, as Bell collects the ball again inside his own half. Rolls a pass out to Reece Burke. Burke just going to go backwards to Osho. Osho stabs forwards to Watson, and Watson goes backwards to Bell. Pitch looks a little bit bumpy out there. Just doesn't seem as watered as what you might normally get in the Championship, as Luton have the possession on the left-hand side, and it's Jordan Clark, the skipper tonight. Great to see him captaining the team. Clark's going to cross the ball in towards Adebayo, who's kind of pushed down to the floor, but certainly not enough in that to warrant a penalty appeal. Wigan clear up in the left-back position. Osho is there, under pressure from Fletcher. Burke then clears, and Burke volleys this one up towards Woodrow. Woodrow just does enough to put the Wigan defender under pressure. He just clears to a Luton shirt. This is played into Woodrow now, edge of the area, into the box. Woodrow onto his left foot, real chance, and then scoops the ball over the bar. Chance for Woodrow. He got it onto his left foot, but actually then had the shot with his right foot. He sort of scooped it up. The referee has given a corner for some reason. Looked like it didn't come off of anybody, and that goes down as a huge chance for Cauley Woodrow. I thought he would score. Yeah, once he got in the position, he was sort of just in the 18-yard box. He sort of feinted to shoot and took it onto his left foot, so to speak, and I was just expecting him to slot it into that corner. The corner kick taken short, and Luton have started this game very well indeed. Watson's going to pick up. Watson goes back out to the corner taker, who plays this one in now. Good ball as well from Doughty, and Luton applying more pressure, but the ball's gone out of play for a goal kick. I'm not quite sure how it was a corner, but anyway, the referee gave it, Matt Donoghue, and Luton didn't do anything from it in the end. But good positive start from the Hatters, Jonathan. Oh, great start. They've set off really busy. Jordan Clark straight away pulling the strings, cutting in from the right hand side, put a cross in, and then they created a really good chance there with Cauley Woodrow. It looks, shape-wise, it looks like Wigan have set up with the back three themselves. So it's going to be a little bit man-for-man sort of game tonight, and I think that could play into the hands of Luton. I feel we've got the stronger team than Wigan, with them sitting at the bottom of the league at the moment. And if we can keep going with this start that we've had, it would be good. Horvath plays out to the left-hand side to Doughty. Alfie Doughty now just tries to play a ball up towards Adebayo, doesn't quite find him, and now Adebayo has fouled his man. Free kick to Wigan, playing in blue and white tonight. The Latics now going to curl one round the corner for Ashley Fletcher to chase after. Luton should clear up that one fairly comfortably, although Osho needs to deal with this one as it was played square along the back line. Osho does do, and now finds Watson just ahead of him. Here is Watson then. Just giving it to the left-hand side to Doughty. Now Doughty forwards, good ball, but Woodrow is offside, and this is going to be a free kick to Wigan. They have Ben Amos in goal. It's pretty much a near enough full strength side, although striker Keane isn't playing. Instead, Ashley Fletcher is in for him. So they have Ben Amos in goal. Back three is Curtis Tilt, Jack Watmore and Charlie Hughes. Two of those three are regular Championship players. The wing-backs are Joe Bennett on the left and Tendai Darikwa on the right. Midfield, Tom Naylor and Max Power, both regulars. Then it's Thilo Asgard ahead of those two, and then up front Callum Lang and Ashley Fletcher. Promoted from League One last season, having won the title, Wigan Athletic. Lots of these were Championship winners, well, League One winners if you like, last season, who remained at the club, and they've made a few more signings as well, but finding life tough in the Championship, like most teams do who come up from the First Division. 0-0, and Wigan have the ball back with their goalkeeper Ben Amos, who rolls out to the centre-half Tilt. Tilt goes back to Amos, and now Amos is going to curl one over on that right-hand side to the other centre-half Hughes. Wigan having to go backwards again. Good work from Adebayo, pressing up top there, Elijah Adebayo, and the clearance is a poor one from Curtis Tilt, and out of play for a throw to Luton.
Yeah, you mentioned the pressing there from Adebayo, and I think that's a clear tactic from Luton straight away. They're looking to close down Wigan everywhere on the pitch. They've not come here to sit back and soak it up and play on the counter-attack. They've come to get out Wigan. They know they're a team low on confidence, and there's pressure everywhere. Adebayo and Coley Woodrow setting that tempo with Jordan Clark and Campbell just behind, really looking to press Wigan at every opportunity.
0-0 in the early stages. Jonathan Smith alongside me as Luton look to put more pressure on Wigan. Good play there from Louis Watson in central midfield, just tussling away and winning the ball, but it's won back by Wigan. They then give the ball away, trying to nutmeg Clark was midfielder Asgard. Eventually wins it back again, does Asgard, and now it's with Darikwa over on that right-hand side. Wigan looking to come forward, played up towards Lang. Lang goes backwards, but the ball out of play. The pass not very good from Lang. Throw into the Hatters over on that far side. An opportunity for Corley Woodrow tonight, Jonathan, just to make his mark and give Rob Edwards some food for thought.
Yeah, I think it's a great call from Rob Edwards to put him in and give him that opportunity. He's had a long time out with injury. He came back and scored the winner the other week, and he'll be looking to make an impact tonight. And he's started well. He looks sharp. He looks busy. He looks up for the game, and hopefully, we can create some more opportunities for him.
Wigan head away inside their own half. Watson just tap volleys down to Burke. Now Burke to Bree. Bree just plays it forwards. Can't find Campbell. Cut out by Wigan, who have it on this near side with Bennett. Bennett just prods forwards to Asgard. Asgard then knocks the ball out of play. And this is going to be a Luton Town throw in, which Burke will take for the Hatters. In fact, he's going to leave this for James Bree. 0-0 in the early stages. Luton have had that good opportunity, which Corley Woodrow created for himself, and having got past the defender pretty easily, it has to be said, once he was 10 yards out, he probably should have done better. I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do, Jonathan, because he kind of scooped it, didn't he, and the ball just sort of jumped up in the air and over the bar.
Yeah, it looked like he got away from the defender onto his left foot, and I'm not sure if he tried to use his right foot instead of just swinging his left, because he was in on goal. I'm not sure if the defender just put him off, but it ended up going over the bar. But yeah, great opportunity, but it just shows I think this Wigan defence are not confident at all at the moment.
Here's Bell. He was on his left foot, but he didn't use his left foot, he used his right, but it was a funny connection. I don't know whether it was planned or not. You wouldn't have thought it would be planned, because it was probably, 11 yards out maybe. You'd expect either put your laces through it or try and find some accuracy, but instead it was a funny little lobbed effort. It wasn't really a lobbed effort either, it was a scoop. It must have been a missed kick, I think. But certainly the best chance of the evening so far in these early stages. 0-0. Taking a chance there was Tilt against Adebayo. Just a little cross turn from him. He got away with it. And now Wigan have been fouled on this near side. Osho was just a bit too strong on Callum Lang, right in front of Kolo Touré, who replaced Liam Richardson recently. Kolo Touré, former Arsenal and Manchester City defender. Great defender he was as well. But yet to really hit the ground running here at Wigan. It was never going to be an easy task for him. I don't think he's still picked up a victory as Wigan manager with 7 games in, as we have snow. Just about, I think the forecast said at 8 o'clock. What's the time? It is 7:54. So, yeah, that's close enough, isn't it? Free kick Wigan on the halfway line. In comes the delivery towards the edge of the Luton penalty area. Should get dealt with. In fact, Luton allowed the ball to bounce, and they'll allow it to go into Horvath, who's going to pick this one up. I don't know whether did you see the goals that Luton conceded at the weekend, Jonathan?
Yeah, I had a look. Yeah, they'll be disappointed, I'm sure, especially going 2-0 up. You really want to at least get something out of that game. And I saw them go 2-0 up, and I thought, brilliant. West Brom, a form team in the league, to go 2-0 up. This would be a massive statement. But then it didn't massively shock me that they came back, because they've shown really good quality in recent weeks, West Brom. I saw them against Preston in a league match which was live on Sky, and they really put Preston to the sword. They look a team real full of confidence with goals in them. So yeah, Luton will be disappointed, but they were playing probably the form team in the division. So got to move on now, and 2 big games against Wigan now.
Throw in for Luton on the left hand side. Clark gives it back to Doughty. Has Doughty won a corner kick? I think he has, yes. I don't think Ethan Horvath will be too pleased with his performance from Saturday. Probably at fault for the first 2 goals. Yeah,
definitely. He'll be very disappointed, because from what I've seen of him in the games that I've watched, he's been really safe, and he's made big saves when he's needed to. He's a chance here from a corner.
Yeah, corner kick taken short, and now they're going to play it in. More on that in a second. Horvath and the defensive display from Luton. Here's Louis Watson now. Watson's going to curl one in. Looks a good ball as well. Headed back towards the 6-yard area. There's Adebayo straight at the goalkeeper. Couldn't quite use his neck muscles there to get a real good effort with his head. But good play from Watson initially, curling that ball into the box. Woodrow's header was good as well. And then Adebayo just couldn't quite get the power into the header, Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, another opportunity. Unfortunately, it was just straight at the goalkeeper, so it didn't really trouble him. But just looking here, Wigan look a side real low on confidence. They don't seem to be able to get any passes out. They're not sure whether they're going long or going short. They just look, and I feel like if we really want it tonight, Luton, if we keep putting the pressure on, that we're going to get chances, because at the moment we look the dominant team. We look the team that's got some confidence about us, that's got an idea of what we're doing, whereas Wigan just look a team struggling.
Yep, Luton certainly the better side so far, as the snow continues to fall here in Wigan. Luton controlling the game so far. As here is Amari Bell under pressure from Fletcher. Fletcher with half a challenge, but Bell gets away from him. And now Luton just playing little 1-2s over on that far side, and they're coming off at the moment. Then Clark nutmegs his man, and this is going to be a free kick to Luton. And certainly the Hatters are very much the dominant side, aren't they? You're right, Jonathan. Wigan look there for the taking, don't they?
I must mention Jordan Clark. He has started the game so well. He's so bright, he's so busy. It looks like he's thriving with the captain's armband on. Some players, they wear the captain's armband and they feel that bit of pressure. Jordan Clark looks, right up for this game. He looks busy, he's getting on the ball. Like you said there, he's just nutmegged the Wigan player. He's created another chance here from the free kick. He's just made a great start, and he's leading by example. Hopefully can keep that level up, because he started the game very well. He's controlling that midfield.
Free kick, Luton. Midway inside the Wigan half, over on that left. So Doughty might swing this one in with the players in and around the 18-yard box. In comes the delivery. Bit too much height on it. Scampering away for it is Osho, who should get there. He does get there, but then gets challenged firmly and well. Wigan play up towards Fletcher. Fletcher on this near side. Going to go and run the ball backwards to the midfielder Naylor. Naylor goes back to his goalkeeper. Adebayo charges him down, but Amos gets the ball away quickly. Goalless with 13 minutes gone then at the DW Stadium. This FA Cup third round replay on all of our frequencies tonight and online. We were going to bring you reports from Accrington, but that game was postponed because of the weather. Frozen pitch not too far away from here, just a little bit further north. As Luton have this ball with Burke, and he finds Bree. Bree infield to Watson, seeing lots of the ball is Louis Watson, and looking pretty composed on it as well. Playing the deepest of those 3 midfielders. He's sort of right-hand side deepest. Then Clark slightly on the left, with Campbell a bit further ahead of those 2. Here's Horvath now. Horvath clears to this right-hand side. We mentioned the 2 goals that were his mistakes for the first 2 on Saturday. Having said that, defensively, Luton for the second and third goals were pretty poor as well. not dealing with balls in and around the 6-yard area. Uncharacteristic from the Hatters team, but it does happen. Luton throwing on this near side. Still, Luton are enjoying all of the football at the moment. Wigan have hardly had a spell of play or pressure, really. 71% possession Luton had in the first game, Jonathan, and you can understand why on this evidence.
I can, and you mentioned Louis Watson there. He's seen loads of the ball, and he looks like a player full of confidence. The first game I watched him, we had Huddersfield. First sort of 20 minutes, he looked a little bit nervous, but then he really grew into the game. But here, he looks like he's just full of confidence. He's seeing the ball. He's doing what good midfielders do. He's checking his shoulder. He's getting Luton playing. He looks, a real good player.
Bree whips the ball in. That is a good ball as well towards Osho. Just about did enough, did Wigan, to get a challenge in. Otherwise, that could have been a free header for Osho. So they defended that one reasonably well. Here's Asgard now beyond the halfway line. They've got men forwards here, Wigan, if he can play them. And he's taken too long here. Asgard should have released the ball earlier because they had two flying players centrally. And I think if he'd have curled that ball round the corner, one of those two could have been in. But again, perhaps there's that little bit of lack of confidence, not believing in yourself just to play that earlier ball.
Yeah, it could have been a problem there for Luton because Wigan had men over on the far right hand side. If you could have seen the pass, I think Kolo Toure was really frustrated because everyone in the ground could see the pass was on. Fortunately for Luton, he didn't see it, and then he got caught with the balls by Luton players tracking back. But just got to be careful we don't get caught on the counter attack with those situations because we're so dominant at the minute on the ball that we don't want to lose concentration by Wigan having a quick break because they have got some talented players here. Fletcher there, the 23, the big striker, has played at some big clubs like West Ham, and I think he was at Man United as a young player. So they have got some quality. Max Power, is a proven midfielder, so it's just important that we keep that concentration as we are so dominant.
That's Bree giving the ball away there a bit loosely. I say a bit, very loosely, particularly with somebody of his passing ability. Didn't find the pass range right, and Wigan have possession now and play it into midfield to Naylor. Naylor's going to curl one out to the left-hand side, but again, not accurate enough from Wigan. He's probably about 10 yards ahead of the intended target, Bennett, and Luton have a throw on this near side. Saw a lot of Ashley Fletcher. Well, I saw a lot of Ashley Fletcher. I didn't see loads of him when he was at Watford.
Yeah.
Because he didn't play very often, and when he did, he really struggled.
Interesting, yeah.
Really struggled.
He has had a little bit of Premier League experience, and he's a big, strong athlete by the looks of him. But he just, like you said there, Jeff, he doesn't seem to have settled anywhere. He must have, he's got some quality there. He keeps getting these moves to these clubs, so he must have something about him. But like I say, struggled at Watford, struggled at West Ham. Be interesting to see how he does tonight.
Ball down the corner from Luton. Has Bree kept it in play? I think he has. It must have been close. Burke's going to cross him first time. Good one as well. And that's a chance for Luton again. And it was Woodrow who had the opportunity. It probably goes down as another reasonable chance. That's a great ball in from Burke, who whipped it in first time. And Woodrow, I think if he could have just used his head a bit better and maybe just got a contact on it, maybe at a slight more of an angle, he could have tried to find the far post. As it was, I think it just caught him out a little bit and over the bar it went. Yeah,
big chance for me that, Jeff. I think it's a great ball in. He's found himself 7-8 yards out, free header in just to the right hand side of the goal. He's got to at least be hitting the target, Coley Woodrow, then he'll be disappointed when he sees that back. I think from seeing that, it doesn't look like in the air is his strength, but you'd expect him to do better there, at least make the goalkeeper work.
Here's Asgard up to Fletcher. Fletcher touches pretty good and goes backwards to Bennett. Halfway line Wigan are at the moment. 18 minutes gone. It's goalless, but Luton continue to be the better team as Wigan play this one eventually out from defence. Here's a ball forwards towards Fletcher. Burke is against him. Those two are grappling each other. The crowd want a free kick, but they're both doing it. Bennett's going to cross in though, and Luton just get a little touch to the ball, which allows goalkeeper Horvath to come and claim it. I mean, this happens all the time when balls are played forward like that. Both defender and forward are just tugging at each other's shirt, so the referee can't do anything about it. You can't penalise one and not the other for both holding on. Goes on all the time. Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Both of them were pulling, both of them were tugging. The referee did the right thing for me. Let's get on with the game if they're both at it. That's probably Fletcher's strength right there, playing the ball into his feet. 0-0. Luton have possession left-hand side. Adebayo's gone a bit shorter this time, and now, I say shorter, a bit deeper. Then he nutmegs his player 25 yards out, and the referee's just blown his whistle just to speak to one of those defenders. Just a little word. I think he might get away with that. Get away with not receiving a booking, but the referee will just maybe give him a final warning. Adebayo just coming deeper to pick up that ball 22 yards from goal, and then neatly nutmegged his man, and was awarded the free kick for the foul on him, which is in a reasonable range.
Yeah, silly foul to give away, and Wigan seem to be giving away a few of these. They seem to be just sort of diving in and giving away needless fouls, and this is a dangerous situation here. James Bree's got a great right foot. What are we looking at here, Jeff? 25 maybe?
Bit more, yeah, bit more. 26, 20, 27 yards.
Yeah, he's in a good area for a right foot. He's just just off central, and perfect. James Bree will practice these a lot in training, no doubt. Free kick take, he's done loads of these, and it's just whether we can produce it now when it matters. But this is a good opportunity.
Doughty over it as well, because it's a fair way out. It means if you can get it over the wall, you then got a chance for the ball to then dip underneath the crossbar. Sometimes when they're too close, it's a lot more difficult, but this is almost the perfect range. As is it going to be Bree or Doughty? I think it's going to be Bree, who takes it and doesn't quite connect with it properly. Well, he sort of connected with it okay, but didn't get the dip that needed at the end over the bar.
Yeah, it never looked like it was going to trouble from the minute he left his foot. He got good power behind it and a decent direction, but just way too high. But Luton need to keep going, playing some good football, moving the ball well. The crowd are a little bit unrest here from the crowd. It's just, Wigan have produced absolutely nothing at the moment in terms of, chances or good moments, and it's all come from us. And it's just, we need to be taking one of these chances soon, or else Wigan will start believing a little bit more.
Well, their home form, Jonathan, isn't great. Conceded 4 last home game. They conceded 4 the home game before that, and they conceded 2 the game before that. So that's 10 goals in their last 3 here. I mean, the form's not great as a whole in the Championship, but the last 3 here, that is pretty sad, isn't it? They're looking to come forwards now, but again, Luton have dealt with the threat. It was defender Amari Bell who dealt with it, actually cropping up on the right-hand side, but they've nicked the ball back off of him. The linesman has given the offside, though, and this is going to be a free kick to Luton Town. And that they just seemed to just respond a little bit there, Wigan, to the crowd, just slightly getting on their backs a bit.
Yeah, it's interesting you say there about the defensive conceding 4 and struggling at the bottom of the league. Cole O'Toole there, experienced defender, played at a really good level. That would be the first thing you'd think from him. You think, right, good defender in his time. He'll maybe get these a little bit more solid than what they are. But from these early moments here, they look far from that. They've given us 2 good chances already. They don't look, they don't look that defensive unit which you'd think he would set up as being a former, a Premier League defender. They just look a little bit, unsafe back there.
They're going to clip a ball forwards. Gabe Osho is there. Osho should deal with it against Lang, and does so. That's a risky pass across his back line. Don't really want to be doing that with Wigan pushing on a little bit, and he just about got away with it. Not an ideal pass, that one.
Biggest cheer of the night there, Jeff, was Cole O'Toole trying to flick the ball back in, and he's just run and got it. Fair play to him. He's trying to get his team going, but
probably could do with him on the pitch as one of those centre halves.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good shout.
Backwards Wigan go, and goalkeeper Amos is going to roll out to that right hand side. Goalless halfway through this first half. Elsewhere in the cup, Forest Green are 1-up against Birmingham, League One side against the Championship club, and Liverpool are 1-up away to Wolves in the All Premier League tie. Accrington against Boreham Wood was postponed around about midday today, so this is just our one offering for you tonight. Wigan versus Luton, and it's currently goalless as Wigan go back to Tilt, the centre half, and Tilt now to Watmore, former Portsmouth centre half. Watmore out to that right hand side, looking to build gradually Wigan Athletic down that right touchline. Ball has come off of Doughty, I think, and gone out for a Wigan throw in. All the chances so far have come Luton's way, and Woodrow has had 2 of them. Also Adebayo with a header too. So Luton have been the better team, but they have nothing to show for their effort so far, as Wigan nick the ball just beyond the halfway line and look to play it in midfield. Luton harassing and harrying there to try and win it back again. It's with Naylor. Naylor forwards to Fletcher. Fletcher picks up, feeds it right hand side, and now Wigan trying to feed it in towards Deriqua. All out of play for a throw in over on the far side. Luton with a little bit of defending to do in and around their penalty area now, which they haven't done an awful lot of so far in this first half.
Power will sling this in. He's got a bit of a long throw. Having played against him in the past, he'll probably just put this in the box and try and make something happen from it.
Second spell at the club, Max Power. In comes the delivery from him. Drops down and is not cleared. Here's a chance. Asgard strikes, and that was a bit of an effort for him just outside the box. He was in a bit of space as well, and I think again he should probably be doing better with that, because there weren't many players pressuring him, but it just fell nicely to him, and he had the whole goal to aim at, and he just rather pulled his effort. Yeah,
nothing fancy about it, just, you know, Max Power slinging it in, trying to make something happen. It did drop down to Asgard on the edge of the box, and yeah, he had a free shot at goal there. I'll be disappointed with that. He dragged it wide, where, you know, you'd expect a player of this quality to be hitting the target at least from there, so a little bit of a let off there for us.
Ball in midfield. Clark wins it and heads down to the left hand side. Seen Luton get down the wings too often tonight. I'd like to see a bit more of that from Doughty and Bree. Now given away by Wigan inside their own half. Here's Woodrow. Woodrow to Adebayo. Adebayo onto his right foot, looks to shoot, almost comes back to Woodrow, and Wigan will clear. That was sloppy play from the Wigan defenders there, just giving Luton the ball. Couldn't quite make an opening though, Rob Edwards' side. Hatter's coming forward now with Burke. Burke strides forwards, gives it to Woodrow. Woodrow gives it back to Burke. Burke has Watson just behind him. Watson looking up, plays it forwards towards Clark. Clark's got a bit of time, gets his ball away to Burke. Burke down that touchline to Bree. Bree back to goal, just gives it back to Clark. This is a good bit of play from Luton. Clark just slightly over under the ball, allows the Wigan defender to come in and clear. Some nice little passing movement there from Luton. Little give and goes. Here's Bree now from that throw-in, gets it back. Clark is alongside him and he gives it to Clark. Clark, as busy as ever, back to Bree. Bree clips it forwards. Burke is there. Burke can be reasonable on the ball. Runs that one out of play and behind for a goal kick to Wigan Athletic. 0-0 with 27 minutes gone. Just that little spark Luton are looking for, maybe, Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, and when the Wigan defender, you mentioned it, he played a really sloppy ball to Coley Woodrow, 20 yards out, middle of the goal, and I thought, you know, he might get it out of his feet and have a strike from there, but he looked to play it into Adebayo, and then with the chance sort of went a little bit. I think Woodrow was maybe surprised that he was just gifted the ball in that area. But yeah, we just you know, you mentioned it there about getting down the sides. We aren't really getting down the sides and getting crosses in as yet. Our chances are coming from, you know, little bits of play in midfield from Clark or Watson or a mistake from Wigan. I'm like you, I'd like to see us get it out wide, and can we get some more crosses in, because I think, you know, Wigan are suspect when they're marking when these crosses come in, as we've seen on a couple of occasions already.
They're looking to break away now, right hand side with Lang. Decent bit of skill from Lang, former academy player. Now goes back to Asgard. Asgard out to the left hand side, and Bennett, experienced defender Bennett, up against Bree, looking to cross. Has that come off of Bree, or has it just gone straight out? It's gone straight out, and that's a weak cross from Joe Bennett, former Cardiff and Aston Villa man, 32 years old now, lots and lots of experience, up against Bree, who's got the legs on him. And this is a goal kick to Luton Town, which Horvath takes. Gives it to Gabe Osho. Osho coming forwards. Osho still motoring. Now to Adebayo. Little flick from Adebayo towards Clark. Didn't quite come off. Adebayo then gets a little foot in, and that almost ricochets nicely to Woodrow. Woodrow's challenge was probably a bit late, and I think he's injured, and so is the other player here. And the referee's just going to blow up as both of them are down, and both of them can receive some treatment. Curtis Tilt was the recipient of that Corley Woodrow challenge. and I think Woodrow might be actually more injured than Tilt. Probably wasn't there to be won.
Yeah, it looks hurt. It looks like he's holding his foot. I think, like you say, Woodrow didn't need to go for that. He was never going to get there. Tilt's up now, looks okay. Woodrow looks like he's getting to his feet. It's probably going to be okay, but you know, Woodrow just a bit over eager to try and make the challenge. But Osho, you know, good play from Osho there, driving forward, and that might be a tactic why they're playing him as the middle of the three. They feel like there might be some space for him there to drive forward, and he did that well. Looks confident when he does that. He's just, can we create some more chances? Can we get it out wide? Can we get some crosses into Adebayo and get some service in there to him? Because we have slowed down. We started really quickly, but it has gone a little bit slower now. A little bit of a, we haven't created much since those couple of early opportunities.
0-0 it remains. Wigan forced to go backwards. Both those players are okay and back up and on their feet. Fletcher just chests down. Here's Aysgard, and he's going to switch play from left to right. It's not the best of passes. You can see what he was trying to do, but it wasn't good enough to Derek Ware over on that right hand side.
Yeah, I think Aysgard is the type of player, looks like he's willing to try things and try the different sort of passes and bits of skill, but that was way off mark.
We're going to have it back again though. Luton lost possession, and now into Lang it goes beyond the halfway line. Does Lang on the half turn, gets away. That's this left hand side, and Bennett once again. Bree comes across to cover him. He dabs it forwards to Aysgard. A good little turn from Aysgard, just pushes Burke away. Now goes backwards to Bennett. Bennett is 3 yards outside the penalty area, being urged forwards by the Wigan crowd. Is now with Tilt. He slips over, and Woodrow can't quite challenge him. Tilt is still going. Now there's a little roulette from Tilt and a little drag back. Doesn't produce anything. Runs the ball out of play.
Yeah, I don't think Curtis Tilt was comfortable in that situation. He started driving forward and thought, where am I going? What am I doing with it here? Tried some funny Maradona sort of turn, what we'd call it in football, but didn't get anywhere, and he's jogged back with a big smile on his face.
0-0. Throw to Luton. Hatters volleying away with Osho. We're going to pick up on the halfway line, and they have it. Prodded forwards now towards Power. Power infield to Naylor, and now out to that right hand side it goes. We're now going to play it up towards Lang. Likes to receive the ball, does the young striker. Luton have nicked it off of him, and it's with Clark over on that left hand side. Ball into midfield to Watson. Watson picks up and gives it to Burke. Burke now to Watson in the centre circle. Watson, good ball out to the left hand side, maybe just a bit too strong. Yes it is. He was trying to get Clark away down that left hand side. Clark couldn't quite get it under control with his foot quite high up in the air. Ball out of play for a throw in. 0-0. 32 minutes gone.
I mentioned it earlier, Jeff, that we're both playing. Wigan and Luton are playing a similar shape tonight, so he's come to that stage at the moment where we are cancelling each other out a little bit, and it's going to take a little bit of quality from your Jordan Clarks or your Adebayos or your Coley Woodrows to try and open up, try and create that bit of a chance, because it is a little bit of a man-for-man game at the moment. Can you get the better of your man? Wigan have got the bright spot for me in Aysgard, number 30, looks like he has got a little bit of quality, a little bit of a pass in him. But apart from that, they look a bit void of ideas.
Luton have the ball on that left-hand side. Out of play it goes for a throw-in to the Hatters off of a blue and white Wigan shirt. We have to have a winner tonight. Jonathan Smith and I are not desperate to see extra time in this one, it has to be said. Freezing cold conditions here in Manchester. As the cross comes in, it's going to get rebounded out. Burke's going to let fly. As he knows, he's going to lay it off to Bree. Bree in the penalty area, but instead of crossing early, goes back out again and finds Watson. Thought there might have been a chance for Luton to strike at goal there. Not quite. Here's Bree again, right hand side. Bree, can he beat his man and get the ball in? No, he can't. Just tries to flick it round the corner of the midfielder Naylor. Doesn't come off. And Wigan are going to come forward with Lang. Lang is challenged, and legitimately so according to the referee. And the ball rebounds into the path of a Luton player, and Alfie Doughty has it over on the far side. 0-0. Woodrow's come deep now. Woodrow picks up and steps forwards. Gives it back to Doughty. Doughty to Bell. And Bell's going to play a high diagonal out to the right to Bree. Little volley down from Bree to Campbell. Hasn't quite got into the game, Alan Campbell. He's taken off in that first cup tie. Manager Rob Edwards just felt that maybe a little bit of tiredness he was feeling. And again, Campbell hasn't quite got into the game. But then you could possibly say that about one or two of them out there. Throw to Wigan on the near side, which Burke heads away. Aysgard then heads forwards for Wigan. Luton just nudged back to Amari Bell, who's playing as a centre-half today on the left side. Bell into central defence, and now Watson tried to turn his man. Unfortunately for Luton, Watson was fouled according to the referee, otherwise Wigan were away there. Wigan midfielder saw what he was doing, Max Power, as the ball was played up to him. Watson had his back to the Wigan goal and he tried to turn, and Wigan knew that was going to be the case and were really on him quickly, but the referee says it was a foul. They had got the ball as well, Wigan. Free kick or no free kick?
I think he might have gone through his leg to get the ball, but Louis has to be very careful in there, Louis Watson, in terms of when he does receive it. He must be on the half turn. What I mean by that is sort of being on side onto the play, so you can play both forward and backwards. Because if you're just facing the defender, you take a touch, and you've got a pressing midfielder like Max Power, he can nick it off you, and you're in on goal in the position that he plays. So we've just got to be a little bit careful, because I know he likes to receive the ball in dangerous areas and gets us playing, which is a positive. But in that position, you can't afford to get caught on the ball, because it can cause a big problem, because you're then at the defensive line once he's beaten. But yeah, I think it was a foul. I think he did take his legs first to get to the ball.
You could see why Wigan went and pressed there. It was both the two midfielders realised the situation. It was a slowish ball into his feet as well, and he very much was front on, and they quickly went and shut him down and got the challenge in, but it was a foul according to the ref. That's a good ball from Clark out to the right hand side to Woodrow. Now can Woodrow go and attack the defender? No, he's going to cross in early all the way across the far post. Nobody was there though, nobody was gambling. Campbell kind of went towards the penalty spot and beyond into the 6-yard area, and Adebayo just held his run there. Reasonable in from Woodrow as well.
It's a great ball in, Jeff. Great play from Clark. He's got the vision to get it out here to Cauley Woodrow, who had space on this right hand side, and he's put a great ball in. Keeper can't come and get that, because it's sort of in between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot, and you're hoping that someone gambles. Adebayo didn't. He held his run a little bit. Campbell was never going to make the ground up. Just unfortunate that Adebayo didn't gamble, because he would have had a great chance at the back stick there.
You wonder then whether the players aren't expecting the cross, so they don't then go and gamble, or should there have been a signal, or should you gamble and expect the ball to come in?
Yeah,
difficult one, isn't it?
It's a difficult one. I think the shape that Luton play with the wing backs, it's hard to ask Alfie Doherty to get all the way up to get on the end of that. If you're playing with a 4-3-3 and you've got a winger on that left hand side, he might naturally just be in that heading into that position. But it's a big ask for Doherty to get up there. So you're hoping that Adebayo can make the correct run. But good ball in, good positive play from Cauley Woodrow.
Here's Woodson just feeds it to Burke. Burke just under pressure there, loses out to Lang. The Wigan bench want to quickly get the ball back to the Latic players to see if they can catch Luton on the hop there. Picked up in midfield again by Aysgard, who's the one trying to cause problems. Backwards he goes, and Wigan have it in defence. 38.5 minutes gone of this replay. 0-0 it remains. Wigan yet to really have a chance, but they are surging forwards now, right hand side, and that could change now. Looking to get the ball in from that right hand side, but under pressure from Amari Bell, and the player pass back is a poor one. Lang, he's saying that he was getting fouled by Amari Bell. Linesman says no, you weren't. Throw into Luton, almost in the left back area over on that far side.
Good strong play from Amari Bell there. Callum Lang is, he's a busy player. He wants to get, he's not the biggest of players. He's got a low centre of gravity. He's looking to turn Amari Bell, but Amari Bell, big strong lad, held him up, forced him back, and then Lang ended up, trying to pass it back and passed it out of play for a Luton Town throw. But good, solid defending there from Bell.
Luton come out with the ball following that throw in, but then give it away again, trying to find Woodrow and Adebayo. Played out to that right. Luton are forced to knock it out of play for a throw in to Wigan Athletic, who are ending the half reasonably strongly. Still goalless on this freezing cold evening. Everybody wrapped up warm here at the DW Stadium. Wigan Athletic to take the throw in. It's going to get launched in by Max Power. In it comes. Luton, back header, have given away a corner, I think. Yes, they have. Horvath tried to keep it in play. I think it came off the head of Osho. Corner to the Latics over on that far side. Some more defending to do for Rob Edwards' team. 9th in the table, Luton, against the side bottom of the Championship. 4 points from safety, Wigan, but they do have a corner kick here, and it will be an in-swinger now, as Luton have every player inside that penalty area. In comes the delivery, pretty good one, headed away. That looked like handball from Wigan. It's not given, the ball's still only half cleared, and eventually Luton do get it away. Looked like Luton cleared against a Wigan hand, but the referee obviously didn't spot it. It's back with Deriqua, who plays a square pass to Aysgard. Aysgard back again. Wigan crowd are urging their team forward. Power has it now. Power, low ball up to the penalty area. It goes through both Lang and the Luton defender Bree. Back with goalkeeper Horvath, who rolls out. Doughty has it. And Doughty now to Bell. Here's Osho to Burke. Beyond the halfway line, Burke. Was he tripped there? Looked like he was by Lang. Free kick to the side in orange, which James Bree is going to take. Bree goes backwards to Watson. Watson to Osho, now to Bell, and Clark's going to pick up. Put his back to goal though, so goes backwards to Osho. Osho's going to give it back to Clark, the captain. Curls one up towards Adebayo, who's offside, and this will be a free kick to Wigan. What have you made of the two up front and their partnership so far, Jonathan Smith?
Yeah, not as... Coley Woodrow had a lively start and had his chance, and he's had the chance with the header as well, and it looks like he's got a chance in him. Doesn't look overly confident in terms of finishing at the moment. Look, he snapped at a couple of chances. Haven't linked up massively in terms of getting the ball into him, but that could be, they haven't had massive amounts of serves in terms of balls coming in. A lot of the chances and the bits of ball they've had have come from Wigan mistakes, or just bits and bobs around the box. But they're working hard, as you'd expect. Adebayo putting in a shift. Doesn't look as threatening as they do when Morris is up there, but that's to be expected. He's one of the top strikers in the league at the moment.
Luton trying to win the ball and do so, and one of the players has gone down injured there, just in challenging for the ball. Could be Alan Campbell, who's gone down, having received a bit of a whack in the face.
What I have noticed about Woodrow, and Adebayo, to be fair, on numerous occasions, they're prepared to work hard to come back to help the team. Sometimes that's often a little bit detriment to their attacking play, because they're coming back so deep to help that when it comes to getting the ball forward quick, they haven't got that energy or pace about them to get back up the pitch to create that chance. But they are putting a shift in for the team. Rob Edwards will be happy with the effort of all the players so far. I still think we're the dominant team. Wigan have come into it a little bit more, but I think they've only looked half dangerous on maybe a couple of long throws, set pieces, and the old counter attack. Apart from that, they haven't really created anything of note that's troubled Luton, and that's what I think you'll be more satisfied with how solid we've looked. We've come away to, it is a championship team, and given nothing away with 44 minutes on the clock, which is good. It's just about, can we, when we have created chances, can we create some more, and we need to put one of those away.
The thoughts of Jonathan Smith, the former Luton Town midfielder. Alan Campbell continues to receive treatment. I think he just got whack in the face, or the side of the face, challenging for the ball. West Brom have gone 1-0 up against Chesterfield in another one of the FA Cup replays tonight. So that's Forest Green leading, Liverpool are leading, and West Brom are leading. And here it remains 0-0 with 30 seconds left of this first half. There'll be a bit of stoppage time. We've had a few pauses in play. Remember that Boreham Wood game, which we were going to be covering tonight, postponed very early on in the day because of a frozen pitch. No undersoil heating there at Accrington. As Gabe Osho is going to get us underway. Pass isn't a great one. Didn't have a high enough trajectory on it, so couldn't get past the defender on that left-hand side. Wigan have given it away again, though. And so Watson now gives this ball to Burke. There'll be 2 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Here's Woodrow dropping deeper and deeper now to Burke. Burke again, good feet from him, then tries to play in Woodrow right hand side. Woodrow is there, that's a good cross from him. Adebayo heads down, it's dropping down towards Clark. It's stabbed back by Adebayo, and they can't quite set it, Luton, there a bit unfortunately. Almost did, but didn't quite come off. So Wigan will try and come forwards, but Fletcher's run was not found by the midfield passer, and Luton have it back again. There's a good cross in actually on that right hand side as Amari Bell is fouled there from Woodrow. Just seems to be dropping deeper and deeper, Jonathan, doesn't it? Yeah,
he's desperate to get involved in the play, and he's dropped deep again into sort of the attacking midfield position, and he did so then.
Here come Luton once more, left-hand side now, Doughty crossing in, Wigan clear. There's Woodrow once again, almost playing in a midfield position. Here now is Corley Woodrow. He has been played in a more deeper role at Luton, as now Osho's taken a chance against Fletcher and gets away with it. Rob Edwards just thrusting his right arm out as though he's to say, play it earlier. I think not just Osho he's talking about, one or two others as well. Perhaps taking maybe one too many touch, Luton, this half. Ending it pretty well though. Here's Doughty looking to cross in. It is played into the area. Luton do get balls into the box more than most opposition in the Championship. Here they've got another opportunity with Bree. Bree, a low one this time, and we can deal with it once more. Teams are well aware of that threat, so they'll know all about Luton doing that. Here is Fletcher now. Fletcher winning possession, laying the ball backwards, and we're going to have a chance to break away there, but the referee blowed up for the free kick rather than allow Aysgard to have a chance to break away left-hand side. So Luton will be happy with that decision made.
Yeah, you're talking about Luton getting crosses in, and they do. The last sort of 5 or so minutes, they have put some crosses in from Woodrow, from Bree, from Doherty. But what we're going to doing quite well, they're getting all their midfielders back in the box, so they're sort of limiting the chances that Luton can get. And we saw that when Woodrow, found Adebayo at the back there. He was trying to find a set, but there's so many Wigan bodies around, he couldn't find one of his Luton teammates. And that's the half-time whistle right there.
Yeah, half-time whistle goes, and the response is a few boos in there from the Wigan crowd. As I mentioned to Jonathan a bit earlier, their form here hasn't been great.
I think the big problem there is the booing the referee decision. They wanted the advantage, and they did have an opportunity there. They played the pass through, and Aysgard was sort of 2-on-1 win with another Wigan player, but he blew up for the foul, and I think the crowd are very disappointed, and we'll probably hear that now as the referee's coming off, even more boos.
Yeah, it was one decision, I suppose it was towards the end of the game, and it was a pretty poor one actually, because Aysgard might have been able to break away down the left-hand side, but if that's all they're going to go on, the home crowd, then you feel that this long hard season is likely to continue for them, because other than that Aysgard effort from the edge of the box, they have done very little to trouble Ethan Horvath, who hasn't had a save to make.
Yeah, and you know what it's like, Jeff, when you're bottom of the league like Wigan, struggling for points, struggling for results, they're looking to blame anything, they're looking to blame everyone and anyone for the demise, so to speak. And like you say, I think the referees had a decent game, apart from maybe that one decision at the end the crowd are unsettled about. But in terms of Luton, yeah, decent-ish half, defensively very solid. lacking that sort of real spark up the other end. But I feel like we will get chances in the second half if we keep moving the ball quick, get it wide, get crosses in. I do feel like we are looking the more likely team to break the deadlock here.
Just a few little things to iron out maybe for Rob Edwards in there. They're close to it. They're just not quite. There's been some decent passages of play. They've looked the better team. They've just now got to maybe step it up one more level. Yeah, find that bit of quality. There was an opportunity, I think it was midway through the second half, where Reece Burke had a chance, sort of edge of the box, to get a shot off. And you're thinking, go on, hit it. I think that's the key. If we do get opportunities to have a shot and to test this Wigan goalkeeper, get your shots off, because Wigan are getting bodies back in the box. So it might take a shot from the edge of the box tonight to open them up. Because they are getting the midfielders and the defenders back in that area. Trying to defend for their lives, so to speak. So it might take a little bit of quality from one of the midfielders or the wide players to pick out a pass or create a moment with a shot or a little bit of a dribble to break these down. But I agree with you, Jeff. Just lacking slightly. Whether that's Carlton Morris, missing. He often does that so well in terms of getting on the ball and creating things for others. But yeah, I think defensively, Rob Edwards will be very happy. Limited them to absolutely nothing. Well, it's 0-0. As it stands, we're heading for extra time, possibly penalties, but hopefully Luton will just click a little bit further into gear and get this done before the 90 minutes is up. There's no doubt about it, they have been the better team, but they haven't created loads and loads of chances. In fact, I think still the best chance was that first one in just the second minute when Woodrow got away and probably should have struck it left-footed, but scooped the ball over the bar with his right foot. That was probably the best one of the whole half. He's had another one with his head. Adebayo had half a chance with the header as well. And I've mentioned the Aidsguard one for Wigan. Not enough goal-mouth action really, but Luton certainly look the most likely at the moment. Half-time scoreline then at the DW Stadium here in Manchester. It's Wigan 0, Luton 0.
Every weekday afternoon from 2 on BBC Three Counties Radio, Roberto Perrone.
Political reporter Peter Saul live from Westminster. I tweeted Grant Shapps earlier, one of our local MPs, as you know, Peter. He hasn't messaged me back yet for some reason. He's under fire over a doctored photo that was posted on his Twitter account but now being deleted. What's that about?
Weekday afternoons from 2.
For some bizarre reason, he put up this picture earlier on today, and in the picture there's him and a couple of members of staff and a gap between them. Then someone pointed out on Twitter that the original photo had a certain Boris Johnson in the middle.
Roberto Perrone.
Political historians have been saying, well, this is a little bit like what Stalin used to do. Grant Shapps saying that he would never knowingly remove his former boss from any photo.
Weekday afternoons from 2.
If he responds, I'll let you know.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Three Counties Sport.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Yeah, half-time then at the DW Stadium, 0-0 between Wigan Athletic and Luton Town. We will hand over for second half commentary. It'll be around the next sort of 10 minutes or so. And bring it to you live here on BBC Three Counties Radio and also live on BBC Sounds as well, where you can listen to the commentary tonight. So let's quickly go through some of the half-time scores from around the grounds. Could be potentially a cup shock, this one. Forest Green Rovers leading Birmingham by 1-0 and a crack of a goal by Stevenson, which I'm just seeing up on my TV screen at the moment because the live game which is being shown on BBC One tonight is between Wolves and Liverpool, so they're just showing the highlights and just seeing the goal. It's a real cracker, it really is. Swansea and Bristol City, no goals to tell you between those two sides at the moment. That's at 0-0. Wigan and Luton, same can be said as well. Liverpool are leading against Wolves. Harvey Elliott with a screamer as well, leading that game at half time. And then a game which is still currently going on. It was a later kick-off. West Bromwich Albion and Chesterfield. West Brom are winning 1-0. Jonathan Swift, the goal scorer, within 23 minutes. Those are the scores at half-time in the FA Cup. Obviously, as mentioned, and Jeff has mentioned a couple of times in commentary, we were going to be doing updates tonight from Accrington Stanley taking on Boreham Wood, but that game got postponed earlier today. The game will be replayed next Tuesday evening, where we do have another load of games to bring you from the Football League as well. So whilst I've we can do it right now. Let's quickly go through some of the fixtures you've got coming up here on BBC Three Counties Radio. Saturday, 21st of Jan, this coming weekend, Watford versus Rotherham. You've got Wigan against Luton, Bristol Rovers versus Wickham, Forest Green versus MK Dons, and Stevenage versus Leyton Orient. Top of the table tie, that one in League 2, and I know that Luke, I believe, is going to be doing the show from the Lamech Stadium as well for that game as well. It should be a really interesting one. Then Tuesday, 24th of Jan, so we'll be keeping across Accrington Stanley against Boreham Wood when that game takes place then on Tuesday the 24th. Our other games we'll be covering that evening, Wickham at home against Oxford, that derby match. Jeff is going to be there at Adams Park with Sam Avery. MK Dons at home against Shrewsbury, and then Stevenage away at Swindon. That is how we're looking here over the next week or so here on BBC Three Counties Radio on Three Counties Sport. So second half commentary is on the way very soon. I'd just quickly like to play you a bit of an interview that I did earlier on today. I spoke with Craig McCall-Smith. You may know him, of course, played for plenty of teams here in the Three Counties. He played for Luton, he played for Wickham, he played for Stevenage, and also as well played for St Albans City at non-league level, played for Arsley Town, and also recently was at Bedford Town, and he's now officially announced his retirement from the game. You can go back and listen to the full interview now on BBC Sound. You can go back and have a listen to yourself. It's the full 15 minutes up there now. But I'd like to play you the part of when Craig was talking about his time at Luton Town and what he remembered about his time with the Hatters.
Yeah, definitely. I think my period in Brighton I absolutely loved, but I had a major injury through my time which kind of kept me out for 13 months. So I never really got to show kind of the Brighton fans what I was really capable of, and obviously coming to Luton on after my contract at Brighton was ended. I think it was kind of comfort as much as anything as obviously the size of the club, because I knew John. I'd played under him at Dagenham, and so coming off such a big injury, I was looking to kind of find my feet again. It kind of changed me a bit as a player, so I was kind of searching of kind of who I was as a player. And as I said, being around John, he was someone who I really looked up to and really looked after me when I was first coming through the game. So it was a kind of a great choice to go to the club. But ultimately, again, for me, it wasn't ideal because I fractured my ankle kind of halfway or 3/4 away through the season and then ended up missing 8 months.
When it comes to dealing with injuries, I think all players have different ways of dealing with it. How did you deal with that? You talked about that mentality at the beginning of your career and being let go by St Albans, and having to have that strong mentality quite early on. Does that same sort of process come into play when you're dealing with injuries?
Yeah, I think you just got to kind of believe that you'll get yourself back and you'll kind of work hard. It is really tough. For me, the one at Brighton, I was in throughout the whole of the summer. I had to kind of learn to walk again. There was a lot of factors within that injury, and obviously I had really good people around me who were kind of always there to talk to. I learned a lot of different processes. Meditation, I learned through it, mindfulness, lots of different practices that kind of could quieten my mind. Because obviously through those periods, if you're not playing, your brain's working at 100 miles an hour and kind of telling you you're not coming back, like you're missing out, like the team's doing so well, they don't need you anymore. So you've got to quieten your mind and allow positive thoughts to come in. So through my time at Brighton and through my time at Luton, through my injuries, it was a lot of, as I said, mindfulness and meditation and writing positive affirmations, just to kind of keep my mental state kind of in a positive frame of mind.
Looking at where Luton has gone now, and it's been on this meteoric rise. They're now, they had a successful season last season. They're going along really nicely in the Championship this season. Did you ever get the feeling that was going to eventually be the case for Luton, even at your sort of time there? You weren't there for, a massive amount of time, but did you get the feeling that the club had that potential to go on and be a really successful Championship side?
Yeah, I believe when I joined the club, they're obviously a fantastically big club. I was at I think it was a Johnson Paint Trophy final. I think when they beat Scunthorpe, and they took 40,000. So I knew the size of the fan base, and obviously what the club wanted to do as well. Speaking to the chairman and then Gary Sweet and John, they had a plan to move the club forward. And obviously under John, it didn't go quite so well. But obviously Nathan Jones came in. With his own philosophy, his own style, and through the years he's built on that, and he's brought in some fantastically experienced players along with some like homegrown players and some other young players, and they've allowed the club to flourish and given time for the manager to build that. And obviously they're having another fantastically great season for the back of that as well.
Craig McCall-Smith, I spoke with earlier on today. If you want to listen to that full interview, you can go back and listen to it now on BBC Sounds. Let's cross to the DW Stadium. Jeff Doyle is there for us this evening. Alongside him is Jonathan Smith, who's been watching this first half. And it's 0-0, Jonathan, but you just feel that Luton have got another gear to kick into.
Yeah, certainly. Me and Jeff were just talking that we feel, and I'm sure Rob Edwards will be relaying this message to his team, that just a little increase of intensity, a little sharper with the passes, and we really will open up this leaky Wigan defence, and just looking to create that next big chance because I feel it's not going to take loads to beat Wigan tonight. You can see the low in confidence, you can see they're a little bit hopeful in the play, and if Luton can just create that chance, get that goal in front, then I feel they'll comfortably see this game home.
Do you think maybe potentially not that far into this half, that if things aren't still quite going the way, that he may look to that bench and some of the names on there, the likes of Harry Cornick maybe or Luke Berry to come on?
Yeah, potentially. The subs are going to have could have a big impact tonight, especially if it goes into the last stage of this half. Neither team will want the extra time, the extra game time. It's difficult, to be a substitute on a night like this when it's cold. There's not a big atmosphere. It's going to be important that they're warmed up and they're ready to go. He's got Pelly Ruddock and Panzu there, Harry Cornick, Luke Berry, Cameron Jerome's got a lot of experience. So yeah, bringing fresh legs on, I'm sure, will be something that Rob Edwards will be thinking about, especially. I think if he's looking to start maybe Adebayo on Saturday, does he want him doing 90, 120 minutes tonight when he's got to go again on Saturday? That'll be a decision that he's got to make. But yeah, I agree totally that subs could play a big impact tonight for both teams, because both teams have got some good players on the bench.
Jeff, do you think we could see Luton potentially come out on the front foot then on this second half, straight from the off?
Well, I think so, because nobody wants extra time or penalties. I've just been chatting to a few people here in the concourse just because I needed to move my feet, which have gone very numb all of a sudden. And they're all saying, somebody needs to win it in the next 45 minutes, because otherwise we might as well just get penalties now and be done with the next 45 and the 30 minutes of extra time and just get it, because I think Wigan supporters are a bit similar to us. This isn't the main ambition for the season. They want to stay up. They want to stay in the Championship. They're only 4 points from safety. That's what they're trying to achieve this season. And the longer this goes on, it's freezing cold. The players are going to get colder. Certainly, as Jonathan was saying, the bench are going to have to make sure that they're warm enough if they're called upon. And they won't want another 30 minutes and then another, whatever it is, 10 minutes for the penalties. So let's hope one of these two teams do really go for it in the second half. And of course, we want it to be Luton Town.
The players, it sounds like they're just about to come back out onto the pitch. But before I hand back over to you, Jeff, I was just having a look. Apparently it's 5,000, around just over 5,000 there at the stadium tonight. And about 150 odd Luton fans who've made the trip up. Well done to them as well. It's tough on a night like this, particularly with the adverse weather conditions, with it up in the north as well. So congratulations to them and well done to them and a safe journey back to all of them as well. So if you're listening to us on BBC Sounds, let's hand over for your second half commentary then. Jonathan Smith, ex-Luton player, alongside Jeff Doyle.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. And they are out for the second half, the two sets of players. Adebayo's still out there, so he's going to be given more time. Jonathan's right. I did wonder whether he might just want to give him a little bit of a rest, but then he also might have in the back of his mind that because he scored on Saturday, Adebayo, then he might follow that up with another one tonight and then really kick on for the season. Campbell's still out there, so too Clark. One of the few others are just sort of holding on to their bodies a little bit just to try and keep warm, because it is bitterly cold tonight. I'm sure as it is back down in Bedfordshire and in the three counties. When I left it was about 1 degrees, and it's probably about -1 now up here. And Chris is right, those supporters way to our left in the north stand, they've done really well coming up tonight, and they've still got to get back home because there is still forecast snow tonight, and hopefully we are all going to be able to get back and then head back up here again in a few days' time. Wigan are out as well. Luton 2. The referee's now out there, and we've just kicked off, and the Hatters have started us off towards the Luton supporters. Luton are kicking in this second half, and immediately Wigan have nicked the ball off of Luton and played it forwards, and it's going to be a throw into Wigan because Luton knocked the ball out of play for a throw in. So neither team have made substitutions at half time. That will certainly change in the second half, but as yet we remain as we did in the first half. Throw to the home side. Power is going to launch one in once again. Half cleared by Luton. Strike on goal is an excellent one, and it's Aysgarth who has smashed one into the roof of the net, right hand side. Really good finish, first time, just slightly outside the box, but it was an expert finish from Thilo Aysgarth, and Wigan take an early lead in this second half in this FA Cup third round tie. Wigan Athletic 1, Luton Town 0.
Yeah, Luton haven't come out, and on a cold night like this in the northwest, is a cold night, it's very important that when you come out for the second half you are ready to go. Now Luton have done a couple of little runs to get themselves going, but when you've been sat in a warm changing room and you come back for the second half, I've been there myself, it can be sometimes take you a few minutes to get going. Now Luton played a sloppy ball into the midfield, lost the ball, all of a sudden they've got a long throw. Wigan, which they've done all night, they just sling it in there, hope for the best, and you know, we pinpointed that man earlier, Aysgarth, he has got a bit of quality. Now the ball's been headed out to him on the edge of the box, and fair play, he struck it absolutely sweetly, right foot into the top corner, goalkeeper no chance, but you know, Luton have come out asleep, you know, they've not come out ready to go, and that will disappoint Rob Edwards.
Poor start from Luton, a goal down as Horvath clears up immediately towards Woodrow, and Wigan again have nicked the ball back. I mean, you know what to expect from Wigan when they get a throw in that position, and try and win the first contact header. Luton did win it, but then where is that ball then going to land when you win first contact? It's going to probably head towards the edge of the penalty area, which was where Aysgarth found himself in a good position. It was a good strike from him, to be fair. Really nice effort from Aysgarth, first time on the volley, and there was nothing Ethan Horvath could do with that one, and the home side take the lead. Could this be the first victory for Kolo Touré, who replaced Liam Richardson as the Wigan Athletic manager back in November? Three Counties Sport at the DW Stadium. Luton with Horvath in goal, back three Bell, Osho and Burke, wing-backs Doughty and Bree, midfield Watson, Clark and Campbell, and up front Adebayo and Woodrow. The bench, which I'm sure Rob Edwards will utilise: Eisted, Potts, Lockyer, Cornick, Berry, Radukampanzu, Thorpe, Jerome and Pettit.
What I will point out, when the goal did go in, Alfie Doughty came, you know, storming over to the dugout area, and he was arguing with someone about something. I don't know if there was a miscommunication about who should have been on the edge of the box, like you mentioned there, Jeff. The amount of balls from corners and free kicks that drop to the edge, you know, for Aysgarth, who's a player of quality, we know that, has got a free shot. You know, I don't know if that's what Doughty was disappointed with, or, you know, some of the coaching staff were.
Doughty with this free kick then. Luton trying to head it back into that penalty area. Fletcher volleys away. Luton win the header clearance, and Amari Bell is going backwards and rolls it back to Horvath. Horvath, just a clearance to Doughty. Short one now, infield to Watson. Luton one down. What's the response going to be like from Rob Edwards' side? Burke is in possession. It's now with Campbell. Campbell backwards to Burke, and with Osho. Here's Watson in midfield for Luton to Amari Bell. Knocked down that touchline by Doughty to Clark. Clark's crossing in, left-footed, lovely delivery. Nobody was on the end of it. It's going to drop down to Bree. His touch is a poor one though, and it goes beyond him. That's poor stuff from Bree. Lack of concentration. Allowed the ball to roll past him when it was an easy one. Here's Woodrow now with an effort. Another chance for Woodrow, and has he scored? Has it gone in? Is the referee going to give it? He is! Woodrow has scored. The first effort is saved, and then Woodrow on the follow-up smashes it again towards goal. The goalkeeper couldn't keep it out, nor could the defender, and Luton's response is immediate, because 3 minutes after that opening goal, Luton get one back. Wigan Athletic 1, Luton Town 1.
Yeah, great response from Luton, not giving Wigan any chance to sort of dwell on the lead. Got it straight back there. I thought the chance might have gone because it came to Bree at the edge, sort of the back area of the box, and it went under his foot, and I thought, the attack's gone now, Wigan are going to get players back, but they built it up again, pulled it back to Woodrow. Great first effort, good save to be fair, but came straight back to him, and he fired in the rebound. We weren't sure if it crossed the line, but obviously the referee's got his watch on, which tells us now if the ball has crossed the line, and thankfully for Luton that was the case, and right back in the game. Great response, just what we were after.
Yep, Woodrow's second of the season. First one was a pretty decent effort, which was saved well by the goalkeeper, and a second one with the goalkeeper slightly kind of off balance because he just saved one, then couldn't keep it out. It was a good pullback to Woodrow as Luton come forward once again. A challenge comes in, and may well have caught the Luton Town player there. It's Woodrow who's down on the floor. Did he just get one on his ankle there as he challenged for the ball? Woodrow down and receiving treatment. Yeah, the pullback to Woodrow, saw him hit the ball first time from about 7 yards out. It was a near post strike just outside the 6-yard box from Woodrow, saved by the goalkeeper. Fortunately for Luton, it rebounded straight back out to Woodrow, who this time smacked it again past the keeper, and the defender couldn't keep it from going beyond the goal line. It looked like it was in, but we had to wait for the technology to give it. Julie did so, and we have a 1-1 scoreline.
Yeah, good. Woodrow, that's his strength. He's got a real strong right foot, and I think as Luton Town manager Rob Edwards, you've got to be telling Coley Woodrow, when you get that opportunity, get your shots off, get your strikes off, because he's got such power and accuracy. And as we've seen a few weeks ago when he got the winner in the home match, and he showed it again there. He's just got a little bit of a knock there on his foot and his ankle area, and you know what it's like, Jeff, on these cold nights, those injuries, you do feel them a little bit more when you get caught on a cold night like this. Hopefully he can run it off. He's running a bit gingerly at the moment, but Luton will be keeping a close eye on that, because he's the man that's got them back into this game.
Just wonder if he just got caught on the ankle a little bit with the challenge, but seems to have run it off. Well, yeah. We were asking what the response would be like, and we have the answer. Great response. You don't want to give Wigan any confidence. They're a team short of it at the minute. Don't give them any. We give them the goal, but fortunately for us, we've managed to get straight back in it, which doesn't give them time to sort of dwell on the lead and be able to start putting bodies on the line, which they're going to do when they've got the lead. But now, opportunity again here. Aysgard again is the one causing the problems. Has that kind of role where he can sort of maraud in between the midfield and the strikers. Must be a lovely role to play, that one. Hey, Jonathan? Yeah. I think you didn't get the chance to play that so often. No, I wasn't good enough for that. Alan Campbell's got an important job for me. He's playing in that area. His job looks to be to track him up and down, and you might not see a lot of the ball tonight, Alan Campbell, but it's important that he keeps Aysgard quiet. Long throw from the home side. Luton have dealt a little better with that one. The clearance is a bit further away this time. Wigan back on the ball though, over on that far side with Bennett. Bennett looking for some support, doesn't really get it, and Luton have nicked it back off of Wigan, and it's with Campbell. Good little bit of skill from him, gets him away from the Wigan forwards. Here's Watson taking a chance inside his box. Has he got away with it? Just about, because Osho's come to his rescue, and Watson's got to be very careful doing that kind of thing inside his penalty area. Only just got away with it. Now Doughty runs into a blue and white shirt, and Doughty has conceded a free kick, and Rob Edwards waxes hands against his legs in frustration. I don't think Doughty can have too many complaints. Watson again almost getting caught in possession inside his penalty area, and then Osho had to just deal with it. Just one or two little limps in the Luton team at the moment. Osho with a little limp. Doughty is also limping too, and this will allow Wigan, this free kick will allow Wigan to play another ball into the Luton penalty area. 1-1 on BBC Three Counties Radio, on all of our frequencies tonight, DAB and all of our FM frequencies, plus online, BBC Sport Online, on your phone, on the computer, on your tablet, on your device. Chance to listen to us anywhere in the UK today, because it's the FA Cup. We're going to deliver this one in towards the penalty area. Luton clear. It's going to get picked up by Jordan Clark. Clark forwards for the Hatters, just prods it forwards. The furthest forward is Amari Bell. Look at Campbell's run. He can't play Campbell in, and he should have done. And now the referee is going to give Luton Town a free kick and a yellow card. But actually, I think that Amari Bell should have played that ball a bit quicker, and Campbell would have been in there.
Yeah, the pass was on to Campbell. Campbell was running forward on the right hand side with no one near him, and if he plays it in, Campbell's got a chance at goal, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Amari Bell, obviously it's not his strength in the attacking area, but he was just hope he was going to get out of his feet and just slide it in. The Wigan players comes sort of in with a real rash challenge from behind. I think he knew, the Wigan player could see that pass himself. He knew he had to do something, and he's hacked Amari Bell down, which gives Luton a free kick. One player for me who doesn't look is showing any signs of tiredness or fatigue is Jordan Clark. Every time he gets the ball, he looks busy. He looks like he's going to create something. He finds the right pass. He gets Luton on the front foot. You know, it's key for me that we keep getting him on the ball, because he looks like he's got that creative spark that we're going to need tonight.
It will be a Luton free kick eventually. There was a yellow card shown as well. I didn't quite see who that was given to. Hatter's just come across and have a quick chat to the Luton bench. Jordan Clark has come across, and so too has Corley Woodrow. And now the Wigan player continues to stay down on the floor, so Watson's come across to grab a drink, and so too has Alan Campbell. 1-1 the scoreline then here at the DW Stadium. They've been here for a while now, having left.
Looks like James McLean is getting ready down there,
left-sided player.
Republic of Ireland player, yeah.
Left Springfield Park in 1999. He's been here since. One of the stands is called the Springfield Stand. In fact, it's the one we're in here, Jonathan Smith and I, which is the West Stand. And that player remains down. Luton will eventually have a free kick after this, and an opportunity to play this one into the penalty area. So James McLean will come on, presumably for Joe Bennett, because he normally plays over on that left-hand side. The Irishman, second spell here at Wigan. And it will be Bennett to come off. So it's just a straight swap, that one.
Substitution for Wigan Athletic, replacing number 21, sponsored by Cowork Studio, Joe Bennett.
Joe Bennett off. And the experienced, well, it's an experienced defender for another experienced defender, although James McLean probably a bit more attacking of the pair. Got, obviously, great ability with his deliveries. Former West Brom man. McLean on. Been at Sunderland and Stoke, vastly experienced to add to that Wigan side. Free kick Luton then, after a fairly large pause. James Bree is over this one, and he's going to play it short to Clark, left side. Clark now to Doughty. Doughty has a couple of players near him, but will cross in. A good one as well, far post. Nobody is there. Did well to get the cross in. Did Doughty. Had quite a lot of height on it, but nobody was on that far stick. It's quite a deep one actually. You probably wouldn't expect anybody to be there, but he did well to wrap his foot round the ball there, Doughty. Ball out of play over on that far side. 1-1 it remains. Goals coming inside the first 4 minutes of the second half after very little action in the first half. Here's Clark now. Clark can't quite keep hold of possession, and Wigan have it on this near side. Breaking that forwards is Derikwa. Still has it, and now he's going to feed it out to this right to Power. Power curls one round the corner. Lang is there. Lang in the penalty area. It's got to be careful, has Mari Bell. Seemed to be quite a lot of holding again, but presumably the referee felt that it was both doing it. Goal kick.
Good work from
Luton.
good work from Mari Bell there again, Jeff. He's dealt with Lang. The ball's played into him in the penalty box. It's very tempting as a defender to try and get your foot on the ball, but that's what Lang's looking for. He's looking for Mari Bell to make the challenge, and then Lang would, try and win the penalty. But Mari Bell stayed on his feet, held him up, and it was ended up Lang who touched the ball out for a goal kick. Good defending from Bell there.
They still have Will Keane on the bench, their leading scorer. I would have thought they might think about bringing him on at some point. Wigan Athletic. As Luton have possession, and Burke then just with a lapse of concentration. Ball just escapes him a second. Almost fouled in trying to retrieve it again. One of the Wigan players is back down. It might be Lang, actually, the striker. So again, another stoppage in play here, with an hour gone of this contest. 1-1. It's the same scoreline at the New Lawn. Forest Green Rovers versus Birmingham. Goalless between Swansea and Bristol City. Still Liverpool lead Wolves 1-0 away from home, and West Brom 1-up against Chesterfield, one of Jonathan's former clubs, at the Hawthorns. Lang stays down, and Luton yet to make a substitution. We've reached the 60-minute mark, which is normally when you get the first rack of substitutes, so likely that there's going to be some changes soon, Jonathan.
Yeah, there seems like there's a lot of discussions going on there. There's been a lot of the subs warming up down this near side, and 60-minute mark, start to think about, do we bring on fresh legs? Who do we look at bringing off? Who's, he might have one eye on the weekend as well, but now we're in this stage at 60 minutes. We've come all the way up here, on a cold Tuesday night. We're in a good position. Rob Edwards will be really keen to get this one now, and he's got to be clever, and he's got to be tactical here with what he does in terms of his substitutions. It looks like someone is getting ready down there. Cornick could be an option with his pace in behind to trouble this back line with Woodrow. Woodrow has picked up a couple of knocks, although he has scored the important equaliser. But the game has gone a little bit. It is a little bit of a dead game, dead, so to speak, in terms of. It's going to be about who really wants it tonight now, who really wants to go the extra yard and produce that bit of quality to get their team through, because there isn't much in this game in terms of, apart from the 2 goals, there's not been big chances in the second half. It's been a little bit quiet, and there's been injuries, there's been stoppages. It's who really wants it now, Jeff, for me.
Yeah, I agree. Rob Edwards with discussions with Richie Kyle, his number 2, and also Paul Trollope, who's down there. Harry Cornick looks like he's going to be the first one on for Luton as a substitute, and they're going to make one as well. McGuinness is going to come on for Lang. That's the end of Callum Lang. Cornick will come on for Luton. And also Keane is going to come on as well. Will Keane for Ashley Fletcher. I was looking at his stats. I think it's something like 3 years since he's last scored, Ashley Fletcher. Had a little spell in New York after his time at Watford. He's still a Watford player, funnily enough. He's on loan from Watford. They loaned him out to New York, then he came back from there, and now on loan here, but struggling for form. And Keane's going to come on for him. So a whole new strike force for the home team. And Alan Campbell has gone off for Luton.
Yeah, I think a bit of an intent there from both teams. Cornick on for Campbell, the midfielder. Wigan bringing on 2 experienced strikers, the top goal scorer, and McGuinness, who's an experienced player as well at this level. So both teams, making positive changes, looking to try and win this game, get this game over the line. So it'll be interesting to see the impact that the substitutions make.
What do we think? Woodrow will just drop a little bit deeper now?
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier in the first half, Jeff, that he was doing that quite naturally anyway. It's important that he does do his defensive duties, because I think Campbell was doing a pretty decent job apart from the goal on Aysgard, because Aysgard looks quite an attacking player, so that will be something Luton need to be aware of.
1-1's the scoreline. We're going to clear in their lines. We're back underway. as Luton played this ball into the box. Bell has it on the halfway line for the Hatters. 1-1 to Cornick, who's very, very deep. Goes backwards to Bell. And Bell to goalkeeper Horvath. 10 goals for the season, Will Keane. And he scored a lot last season in League One as well. As Adebayo comes all the way back to rob possession of the Wigan defender Hughes. Almost the deepest player for Luton there. Elijah Adebayo showing good work for his team. Stays out on the pitch, does the striker. Cornick is up there too, so too is Cauley Woodrow. Luton appear to be going for it. Campbell has gone off. A willing runner, but just didn't quite find the ball. What he likes to do is make those midfield runs and get on the end of passes, but just didn't really receive them today.
No, yeah, he put the work in, he put the yards in, and he covered the distance. But I agree with you, Jeff, in terms of an attacking sense, we didn't see anything from him in terms of creating any chances, making the box. The game passed him by a little bit, but he's still put in those hard yards, which you'll always get from Alan Campbell. And I think he'll be, maybe glad of the rest now, getting freshened up a little bit, because he is a high intensity player who puts a lot of work in for the team. So it's important that you keep him fresh, for a potential start on Saturday.
Free kick to Wigan. Foul just inside the centre circle on their side of the pitch. Very central. So free kick to the home team. 65 minutes gone. Wigan 1, Luton 1. Up towards the Luton penalty area. It drops down. Hatters with some defending to do here. They've won it, and Clark sprints forwards, nudges it forwards to Cornick. Cornick close to the halfway line, takes on his man, then a square pass. He finds Doughty. Doughty now diagonal out to the right hand side. Good ball as well to Bree. Bree's touch is a little bit loose, but he still retrieves it and then nudges it forwards to Cornick. Cornick back to Doughty. Now infield to Watson. Watson to Doughty. Doughty's going to let fly and does so, and just got challenged a bit late there as he struck it, and it goes wide for, I think, a goal kick. Although, what's the referee indicating here? Doughty has stayed down, and he's going to need some treatment. So again, it's gone all stop-start, and on a freezing cold night, just disrupts play. And just...
I think he signalled the corner there, Jeff. But
really?
The shot for me looked quite wayward. For me, and as he's hit it, it's looked like he's took a little bit of a challenge. Whether he's given a free kick now, I'm not too sure. But it looked to me like he'd signalled for a corner, which would have been the last thing that I thought it would have been. It would have been even a free kick or a goal kick for me. But it'd be interesting. It looks like he has given a corner. But Doughty looks in a little bit of pain from that challenge.
He must have obviously got a little deflection then when he struck it. Yeah. He just got caught as well from the challenge, but Luton will have a corner kick here as Rob Edwards looks on.
I agree, these stoppages don't help the game on a cold night. It just slows everything down, and it seems like just as the game's getting going a little bit of tempo, then someone's going down injured again, and it's just taking time for that injury to be sorted out, as is the case here with Doughty.
Back up on his feet is Alfie Doughty, but doesn't look at all comfortable, hobbling on his left foot. Not sure he's going to jog that off.
This is the big problem with your FA Cup replays. You don't get the job done at home. You have to come up here on a Tuesday night and potentially lose players through injury. It looks like he's struggling. Is he going to be able to recover in time for Saturday? That is going to be the big question in Rob Edwards' mind now. But he looks in a bit of pain.
Here's the corner. It's smashed in now. Cleared by Wigan. Osho gets to the ball and goes backwards to Amari Bell. Bell is going to curl a ball into the box, headed down by Luton. Cornick won't get on the end of it, so Wigan clear up towards McGuinness, who goes down, holding his head. Don't need any more stoppages in play. Luton have possession. Doubt is back up and okay, and continuing. Luton just trying to work some 1-2s on this near side, unable to do so. So Wigan play a ball up towards McGuinness, and Osho is there to deal with that one. Ball knocked out of play on this near side for a throw in to the Latics in the blue and white. It's going to be Darikwa to take it. Zimbabwe-born right wing back. Under pressure at the moment. Is he fouled there by Doughty? Yes, he is. Just saw it coming almost, and so fell over from the challenge. Free kick to Colo Toure's side. Right on the halfway line. Wigan Athletic to probably curl this up towards the Luton Town penalty area. It's Max Power to take it. From a Sunderland midfielder. Up towards the penalty box it goes, headed down. Luton nil to deal with it. Did Doughty foul his man? Strike comes in, another strike comes in. Blocked both times. The Wigan supporters are asking for a penalty. The referee's not giving it. They already don't like Matt Donoghue, and that's not going to help his cause as far as how much the supporters are enjoying his performance tonight. They felt that Doughty was leaning on the Wigan player and fouling him. Not given though by the referee.
Yeah, not for me. He's gone down very easily. There's a big cluster of bodies. The referee's closer than we are, and I think he's made the right call. There's a lot of players these days for me that try and go down really easy from very little contact, and his better option for the Wigan player would be show a little bit of his strength and try and get the shot off. Because I don't think there was enough contact there for him to just drop to the floor like he did.
Luton attack right hand side. Bree, good forceful run from him. Cornick into the penalty area. Cornick crosses one back into the box. Cleared by Wigan. Cornick is there again. Cornick goes back out to Bree. It's shut down by Wigan. Feels much more of a cup contest now. It almost feels like both teams don't want this to go to extra time and they want this done in 90 minutes. Osho gets away from his man McGuinness and just gives it to Bell. Bell, left-hand side, strides forwards now towards Adebayo. He goes down a bit too easily. And again, the referee's not falling for that one. Wigan have it inside their own penalty box. Just about get away with that one. The pass was a decent one from Hughes, the centre-half. Luton then get the rebound and the clearance. It's with Doughty on this near side. Doughty in field to Watson. Watson in field. Gets it back again to Osho, now to Bell. Bell has Watson again for company. Watson just about controls and strides forwards. Now knocks it forwards. Dummy to Burke. Burke out to that right hand side and Bree. Bree's going to cross in a low one. Cornick gets a touch on it. Clark trying to get the ball down. Clark still has it, gives it to Cornick. It's intercepted by Wigan. Ball still in and around that penalty box. Luton trying to win it back again, trying to fashion a chance. Another cross comes in from Burke that time. Here's another opportunity. Oh, Cornick went the wrong way probably as he received the ball in the penalty area. Could have gone towards goal. Back out to Burke. Burke crosses in. Adebayo with a header. Back across goal. Still chance for Luton. Strike on goal. He's blocked again from Doughty's effort. And Wigan just about keep Luton out. But are Luton going to get this second goal? Piling pressure on the Wigan defence. Bell tries to take on McGuinness and doesn't get away with it. And so Wigan clear their lines towards the halfway line. Clark heads down. And Luton just beginning to get a foothold on this game now. Woodrow picks up deep. Ball over the top. Cornick away. Cornick with a massive chance. Cornick to score. And it's cleared off the line, or was it in? The referee says no. No goal. That time it was cleared off the line. Clark now to Adebayo. Adebayo can't get hold of the ball. And Wigan are likely to clear. Here's Cornick. Nicks it back off of them. Much better football now. And Luton enjoying all the possession. Watson plays the ball into the box and Wigan are going to clear. Cornick very close to getting Luton's second goal. Should have scored. Here is Woodrow. Luton seem to be performing much better with Woodrow in this deeper position. Cornick, left-hand side now. Feel like the Hatters are really going for goal now. Here is Doughty. Doughty crossing one in low and Wigan clear their lines and concede a corner kick. Great spell of play.
Yeah, what a great bit of play from Luton. A sustained bit of pressure. Two big chances. Adebayo header blocked. The Cornick chance is huge, like you say. He's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I think he does everything right. He gets it onto his right foot. He tries to guide it into that far corner. One thing I might say is, was there enough power on it? Because the Wigan player was able to get it away on the line. I weren't sure if the referee was going to blow to say it had crossed. Unfortunately not. But a great bit of sustained play from Luton. Just pressure after pressure. And just so unfortunate we couldn't break through.
Corner kick, Luton, in comes the delivery, whipped in, Wigan head it clear. It's a lovely ball in from James Bree. When he gets those right, they really come off well, but Wigan do clear their lines now. 1-1 it remains. Harry Cornick with a golden opportunity to give Luton a 2-1 lead. As Jonathan said, he didn't do much wrong, but as a striker you would expect to score in that position. He was slightly left in the penalty area. He was heading towards goal on the left-hand side, so he opened his body up and curled it around the keeper, but just didn't hit it with enough pace because the defender cleared it off the line.
Yeah, fair play for the defender for getting back. You could see what Cornick was trying to do, get it on his right foot. A left footer maybe just hit that across hard with his left foot. He wanted to get onto his right, but just couldn't get the power.
Wigan have won the ball now as Luton tried to break through there with Woodrow. It's with Keane. Keane tries to lay it off. Luton get a challenge in. The tempo has increased in this game now. We've got much more of an FA Cup tie. First half was a bit dreary. This is now a bit better. Feels like neither want extra time. Here's Power going backwards because he's under pressure from Doughty.
Yeah, much better, Jeff. Much better game last 10-15 minutes or so. Both teams, since the substitutions, look like they're just, throwing people forward, trying to make something happen, trying to create chances. And yeah, I agree, Woodrow in that midfield role is looking very bright and lively for Luton.
Just sort of pulling the strings, isn't he? Making things happen. As Wigan have possession on their halfway line, they'll float one out to the left-hand side. 1-1 on BBC Three Counties Radio, on all of our frequencies and online, all around the UK. Jonathan Smith, the former Luton Town midfielder, and myself, Jeff Doyle, with you. Here is Keane out to the left-hand side for Wigan. It's played back to Keane, who's carried on his run, close to the byline actually. Keane's going to just lay it backwards to McLean. In comes his cross. Luton need to deal with it. Doughty chest down, and goalkeeper Horvath comes and gathers that one. And Horvath is trying to get on his bike to clear this quickly because Adebayo had made a run, but it wasn't a very good kick from Horvath. And then Clark went to help out his big striker. Referee says that Clark was fouling the defender Curtis Tilt. 1-1 it remains. Hatters, who have performed better away from home than at home, unusually. 7 victories away from home in the Championship, just 3 at Kenilworth Road, which seems amazing, doesn't it? So many of those have been draws, though, at Kenilworth Road. Just 3 defeats.
Yeah, that surprises me, that stat a little bit. Luton, notoriously a good home team.
Free kick was played early, but offside flag up as Naylor broke away.
Maybe that's down to how well they did last season in terms of teams turning up at Luton now, maybe showing them a little bit more respect, playing a little bit deeper, playing that little bit more defensively, making it a bit more difficult for Luton.
Luton inside the Wigan half. Woodrow goes backwards to Burke, and Burke now to Osho. Osho inside his own half for Luton. Now to Burke, and Burke back to Osho. Can Luton go and grab a goal and a winner here at the DW, sort of in between Liverpool and Manchester area, in this sort of rugby league heartland? Wigan Warriors, of course, involved here as well, as there's a lot of pushing and shoving going on between Osho and McGuinness, and the referee is going to give Wigan the free kick. I don't know why he wants to talk to Watson. Maybe Watson kicked the ball away, did he? Osho was the one who was grappling the striker. Watson probably just kicked the ball away so they couldn't take a quick free kick.
Yeah, clever play from McGuinness. Ball went into him, and he actually got hold of Osho first, but he used his experience. Once he got hold of Osho, it made Osho want to grab McGuinness back, which he did, and then dropped to the ground, got the free kick, crowd cheered. I think that's why Osho was so incensed, because the original contact for me came from McGuinness grabbing Osho.
Free kick taken short. Wigan are going to now cross into the penalty area. It drops down, here's a chance. Keane is there, but he can't get the ball out of his feet. Luton just about did enough defensively there. Horvath looked to break away quickly, and he was impeded by the Wigan player, who gets a yellow card for blocking his route. I think that was Tilt. Free kick to Luton, and there seems to be a lot more energy out on the pitch now.
You feel, Luton are going to score a goal by creating something with the passing and the movement and the crosses. If Wigan are going to score, it seems to me like it's just going to be a free kick pumped in the box, a long throw, a bit of luck, a bit of a scramble. So it's just important that Luton don't give them opportunities by giving away silly fouls, giving away silly throw-ins and corners, because that to me looks the threat for Wigan. Whereas Luton, look to have the football, the play, the craft to be able to create, some good chances.
1-1 it remains. Here's Adebayo, can't keep hold of that ball. Elijah Adebayo doesn't seem to be sticking to Adebayo as much as it used to last season. Power, the striker for Wigan, is dispossessed well by Woodrow. Good work from the forward, good defensive work from him. Now feeds Cornick right hand side. 1-1. Cornick is going to go backwards to Bree. Can Luton get another opportunity? Almost scored a couple of minutes ago. Burke just runs into a bit of trouble, goes back out to Cornick on that right hand side. Backwards he goes to Bree. Bree crosses in now, near post it goes, half cleared by Wigan. Could drop down. Adebayo on the turn, shoots, and the goalkeeper saves that one. And there's another player down, so the referee blows up. Adebayo on the turn there in the penalty area, didn't quite connect as well as he would have liked, Jonathan.
Yeah, when he turned, he opened up some space for him. 14, 15 yards out, just didn't get the power really. Got a little bit of power, but it was never going to trouble the goalkeeper because it was just straight at him. He needed to go either side. He just couldn't direct his shot, unfortunately, because he had opened up a little bit of space for himself. It was unfortunate because I thought that was going to be the moment there for Adebayo, because the chance came and he's looking up to the skies there, looks disappointed with himself, but another opportunity goes by there.
He must practice that in training daily, that type of thing. Receiving the ball, turning in the box and striking. You just got to get that power in it.
Yeah,
find the corner.
Yeah, you've got every striker's taught from an early age, you've got to try and aim for those corners. Straight down the keeper's throat. Whereas either side there, you've got a big chance of scoring from the position you're in. They'll have done so much of that in training, so much practicing, and it's just disappointing he couldn't find that finish, because first touch brilliant out of his feet, created the chance.
What have you made of Adebayo this season compared to last, Jonathan? It just seems something not quite right. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, you saw him last season. He was burying chances.
He was unplayable at times.
There is something missing there. He is, from what I've seen, he is still putting in, a real shift for the team. You saw him before, Jeff. He's sprinting back into the defensive third to make challenges, and that's why he's always going to be a valued member of the squad, because he's putting in that much work right now. To take him to the next level and to be a top level striker, he needs to just score more. He needs to be consistent with his goal scoring, and he produced that last season. Could he go again this season and do it again? It's not quite happened for him in terms of goals. Fair play to him, he's still putting in the work, but I agree with you, he's just missing that vital ingredients, that bit of a finish, that bit of quality at the end. And I think a lot of that in strikers is confidence, because he's proved he can do it at this level. He's just doing it on a consistent basis.
Yep, just probably needs to go on a run, score 2, 3 or 4 in a row, and then push on from there. Here's Osho, central pass from him to Cornick. Shut down quickly was Cornick, but his touch was okay, so he got it back to Osho, who plays another low one to Clark this time. Clark to Adebayo. That's a nice little touch from Adebayo. Clark trying to burst forwards onto it. Just cut out though by Wigan. Drops down to Bell. Bell is just going to nudge it forwards to Doughty. Doughty takes on his man, then that cross comes in early once again. Again, it's a deep one, and the liner says it's gone out of play. So this will be a goal kick to the home side, and we have got just over 7 minutes left of this contest. But again, there will be lots of injury time, because it has been a bit stop-start this game. As Birmingham have gone 2-1 up away at Forest Green. Swansea 1-1 against Bristol City. Liverpool still lead 1-0 at Wolves, and West Brom look through. They're 3-0 up against Chesterfield at the Hawthorns. Goal kick to Wigan Athletic. In front of those Luton supporters who've travelled up from Bedfordshire. Well done to them. McGuinness wins one in the air. Luton win the second ball, and Burke is going to go backwards to goalkeeper Horvath, who has had very little to do. Probably the least amount to do of anybody out on the pitch tonight, Ethan Horvath, which is probably an indication of how Luton have been on top of this game. But as it stands, it's only 1-1. Burke inside his own half. Now to Osho. Now prodded forwards. Luton on the attack, and Bree's going to cross in. A low one, Cornick just lays it off, and it's Woodrow again. Woodrow strikes, deflected and wide of that near post. Good play again from Luton. Cornick doing well, unselfish, just laying it backwards. And Woodrow, it looked as though he might score there, but a good block came in from Wigan.
Yeah, good defending from the Wigan player, because I fancied Woodrow there on his right foot. Wicked right foot he's got. Just sometimes you've got to credit the defender putting his body on the line to prevent a goal hitting the target, prevent the ball hitting the target.
Corner kick, Luton. In comes the delivery. It's half cleared by Wigan, then cleared further away. Edge of the penalty area. Luton have it with Bree. Surely if anybody is to score, it's going to be Luton. Here's Cornick looking to cross in early. Watson is there as well. And then Osho is fouled, is he? No, says the referee. Wigan almost give the ball away, but they might come out with it now. They win a throw-in over on the far side. I mean, you think of the chances created, not necessarily clear-cut chances, but chances. Luton have had so many more than Wigan.
They have, Jeff. They've gotten some great areas and some great, opportunities, just not quite being able to take one. And I said it earlier, Wigan are just sort of scrapping away, and fair play to them. They're putting bodies on the line. They're doing the best as they can to stay in this cup tie through, getting blocks in, getting headers and shots off the line. They really are battling to stay in this competition.
And at the moment they're doing so. Cornick going closest in the second half with his shot cleared off the line after the one-on-one, but they've had other efforts as well. Bodies have been thrown on the line by Wigan, and unless anyone scores in the next 5 minutes plus stoppage time, we are going to extra time. Luton win a free kick just outside their penalty area. Want to get a move on to Rob Edwards' side. On his near side is Doughty, infield to Clark. Clark's probably been Luton's best player. Just nudges it forwards to Burke. Burke with a diagonal. Cornick is waiting for it, but he's not going to get there because the defender Hughes heads it robustly back to his goalkeeper, Ben Amos. Amos in bright fluorescent yellow. Can't miss him tonight. It's taken a long time to clear this one. Eventually he does. Adebayo has played near enough the full 90, so they're giving him plenty of time. Remember, no Morris tonight. Carlton Morris not in the squad. Slight calf injury for Carlton Morris, which is why he's not involved this evening. And they have missed him. Of course you would. He's your top goal scorer with 11 goals. Not in the squad. And there are others on the bench who have not been called upon. Here is Clark now, bursting into the penalty area, running out of room. Back heel is good though from him, finds Doughty. Can Luton get one more chance to try and get a winning goal here with just 2.5 minutes left? Here's Woodrow. Woodrow up towards Bree. Bree's little back heel didn't quite come off, and so Wigan are going to pick up now. Power feeds it to McLean, left-hand side. Power continues his run. McLean cuts in from that left-hand side and just nudges it forwards. Now played out to this right-hand side. Deriqua. Keane's made a run. It's played towards Keane. Luton have cut that one out though, fairly comfortably. Burke to Doughty, and Doughty's going to play it out to the right-hand side. End-to-end stuff now. Luton bombing forwards with Bree. Bree looking up. Any runners for him to play in towards? No, just nudges it forwards. It's with Doughty onto his left foot. Doughty's going to shoot. Again, it's blocked by Wigan at the near post that time. I think the goalkeeper probably had it covered. Luton are going to pick up once again. Just can't quite get that winning goal, Luton. They're getting close, but they're running out of time. With that handball from McGuinness, no. Controls on the halfway line. Wigan in possession, but they've got nothing on, and the defender's being forced to go backwards, and the home fans don't like it. Tariq was saying, I didn't have anything on further forwards, which is why I did that. Wigan still in possession over on that left-hand side. Still 1-1. Closing stages of this third round replay. McLean goes forward, and McLean, good little slalom run from him. Fouled by Burke, and that's going to be the first Luton player in the referee's notepad, and it is Rhys Burke who gets shown the yellow card.
this is a very important stage now for Luton, because this is what Wigan have been waiting for. They've thrived off three free kicks and throw-ins and corners, the scrambles, so to speak. They've got some big players, some big physical strikers on there now in Keane and McGuinness, and the centre halves coming forward. This is where they'll see their chance now, so it's important that Luton defend this strong. Need a leader in there who's going to get the head on it to make sure we don't give what I would say would be a snatch and grab this second half, because Luton have made all the running, created all the big chances.
But Wigan have this opportunity to deliver a set piece in towards the Luton Town penalty area. McLean's over the ball, normally delivers well. Far post it goes, it's a good one, comes down. Luton just about clear. It was an opportunity, and I think it was Watmore who probably should have done better. Now Cornick tries to burst away down the left-hand side. He runs into trouble and then fouls his man. I think Rob Edwards felt that was a Luton free kick rather than a Wigan one, but it's gone the way of the Latics.
There's only one place this is going as well, Jeff. This is getting slung in the box as well. We saw then the opportunity that Wigan had centre half. It was a free header. They looked dangerous off set pieces and long throws, and I'm sure Colo Torre is going to say to Max Power, even though we're on the halfway line here, that this is just going to get slung forward and see if they can scramble something out of it.
7 minutes of stoppage time to be played. And Wigan take this free kick into stoppage time. We go then. Luton clear the first one towards the edge of the box. Wigan might be able to sling another ball into the area. In it comes now. It's not quite dealt with by Luton, but should be now, is so. Strike on goal again from Aysgard, who scored their first and only goal of the night. Volleys it once more, but this time Horvath is there because he didn't strike it as cleanly. Luton now play a ball out to the left-hand side. It's a poor pass, and Rob Edwards has seen enough. And Tom Lockyer is going to come on for Luton. So Lockyer's going to come on, and he's coming on for James Bree. So Lockyer for Bree. What does that mean? Maybe Doughty to right wing back.
Yeah, I think that looks the case, Jeff. Doughty's heading over to the right hand side. He's bringing Lockyer on. Not sure if Breeze took a knock there. He's moved. Looks like he's moved Amari Bell to this left-hand side. Definitely going to be a bit of a reshuffle by the looks of it.
There's another player down, so that's more time wasted. We already into stoppage time, so there's going to be more than the 7, because the referee's going to have to add on extra time for this injury to, I think it's Curtis Tilt, former Blackpool defender, Jamaica international, who's receiving treatment. And it looks as though Doughty has gone over to that right-hand side. So Lockyer on, which seems a bit of an odd one, but maybe there was a little bit of an injury for the defender Bree.
Yeah, I think as well, if I'm Rob Edwards, I'm looking at it thinking, where's the threat now for Wigan? They've got 2 big strikers on in Keane and McGuinness. Set pieces, long throws, slinging balls into the box. That's where they look the most threatening. Now Lockyer's strength for me is he'll head balls away. He'll defend for his life. He'll put his body on the line. So that's maybe what Rob Edwards is thinking. We'll get our leader on, so to speak, to help in those situations, because that for me is the only way that Wigan look like they might score tonight, just through those set piece, those corners, those free kicks, those long throws. So Lockyer will no doubt help in those situations in terms of his voice, in terms of the way he defends as a player.
Yep, he's gone central. Osho has gone left and Burke has gone right. Bell is now gone in at left wing back, and Doughty has swapped sides and gone from left wing back to right wing back. Tilt seems to be okay, and Wigan will have a throw in injury time of this FA Cup third round replay. Wigan 1, Luton 1. We are heading for extra time, and the right to play Grimsby at home in the 4th round. What an opportunity to reach the 5th round against lower division opposition. Hatters having to defend now because Wigan are coming forwards. Keane was trying to get on the end of that. That's surely a foul on Bell. Yes, it is. Free kick to Luton, and Horvath is running out of his goal on the left-hand side to come and take it. Horvath, the American, then will clear up for Luton. Long punt forwards towards Adebayo. There aren't loads of Championship midweek matches coming up, so it's not in a period where Luton have got loads of Championship games, sort of Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, but it's still an inconvenience. Here is Amari Bell now to Watson. Watson, now a square pass to Burke. Burke out to that right-hand side, and Doughty for Luton. Infield to Clark it goes. Little back flick from Clark, but there was nobody near him. So the home side pick up. It's played into the feet of Aysgard, who goes backwards. Wigan then launch it forwards towards McGuinness, who can't control on his chest. It's with Jordan Clark for Luton. Clark to Osho. Osho, not too many options, and shouts ahead and suggests that to his teammates. Now Burke to Lockyer. Maybe he brought Lockyer on for the penalties, Jonathan. He might be the best penalty taker at the club for all we know.
I didn't think of that, to be fair, Jeff. It doesn't strike me as that, but maybe.
I don't think so somehow. Here's Clark now for Luton. 25 yards out, now into the penalty area, now crosses. Adebayo can't get that ball down, and it hits his chest and bounces down and rolls into the arms of the goalkeeper. 1-1 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
I'd like to see Adebayo be a bit stronger there. He's a ball into an area and it just looks like he's gone to ground a little bit easier. I'd like to see him big, strong lad. Can you get hold of that ball and create a chance for your teammate? Just looked like he went down a little bit easier when he could have done, so much better in that situation.
Two nutmegs in a row there. Bell first and Cornick second, and the player is caught in there, and could well be a booking for Hughes. Lockyer unhappy with the challenge. It was a poor one. Hughes was nutmegged by Cornick and then caught him late. I mean, it really is a booking, and I don't think he can have any complaints with that. Charlie Hughes, it's just a late challenge. It's a booking. I mean, it's just your standard yellow card for going in late. Free kick to Luton Town. Near enough played the 7 minutes, but as I've already mentioned, it will be longer than 7 minutes, so we've probably got another minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, opportunity here for Luton. Doughty looks like he's going to swing this in. It's a wide free kick. Can someone make something happen here for Luton in the final minutes?
Free kick, Doughty to take it out on this left, swings it in. Wigan head clear. Bell just gives it back out to Doughty on the left. Doughty cutting in field, still going. Doughty, his run was blocked, goes backwards to Bell. Bell with a forceful run up towards Clark. Clark, nice turn, backwards he goes to Osho. Osho back to Cornick. Cornick with a bit of time is going to sweep the ball in. Lockyer tries to head it, comes down. Adebayo on the turn. Adebayo scores on the volley. Luton Town are going through to the FA Cup 4th round, and it's Elijah Adebayo who gets his second goal in 2 games, and Luton get the winner they fully deserve because they have been the best team. It's Wigan 1, Luton 2.
Oh, Jeff, what a moment for those Luton travelling fans as well, to score the winner, to come all this way and to see the winner at their end. Absolutely brilliant from Adebayo on the turn. Bang, right in the corner. You don't save them. Absolutely delighted for him, delighted for Luton. And, it's been a cold, long trip up here to Wigan, and I'm absolutely delighted because it's no more than they deserved. Wigan have been playing off scraps all night, trying to just nick things off set pieces. Luton have been the team playing the football, looking to probe, looking to find that chance, and the chance came right at the death. I'm absolutely delighted for Adebayo. 2-2, his confidence will be flowing now, and I'm delighted most of all for those Luton travelling fans behind the goal.
It bounced down beautifully for him, didn't it? For a striker, that's just what you want it to do. Back to goal, it bounced down to, he was able to swivel, and he's like 6 yards out, and you just smash it and it goes in.
I agree, Jeff, on his strong right foot, just turn and hit it as hard as you can, and that's what he did. Absolutely buried it, and he's clapping the fans because he's coming off now. He'll be absolutely delighted with that, to score the winner in the FA Cup. Doesn't matter who it's against, and that's going to be to his name now, and they're bringing on a couple of subs now just to sure it up, I think, but great time to score a winner for Adebayo. I think he will be the most popular player on the way home tonight, because some of these boys, I'm sure Tom Lockyer, Jordan Clark will be giving him a real big hug at the end of the game, because not one of those players wanted extra time tonight.
He's done it, the big man. His best opportunity of the night, and he's converted it. Double substitution from Luton. Ruddock has come on, Jerome has come on, but it will be a bit part that they play, because we've had the 7 minutes of stoppage time, and we're only playing on because of that injury during stoppage time to Curtis Tilt. And I reckon that we've probably had about enough of that as well now. Yeah, although the goal has meant that, again, there was a big pause in play.
I noticed the minute the goal hit the back of the net, this ground just absolutely emptied. Everyone just left in arms waving, disappointment.
Wigan still fighting though. They don't think it's over just yet, but the ball has been knocked out of play, and Luton surely have just got to play it into one of the flanks, and after a throw-in or two, it's game over, and Luton are playing Grimsby in the next round of the FA Cup. As soon as that referee blows that final whistle, which will be occurring any second now. Jerome challenges for that ball down that left-hand side. Wigan clear up towards the halfway line. McGuinness heads away. Lockyer then clears on the volley. Luton have it with Doughty. Doughty hits a right-footed pass down that right flank. I think that's probably one of the first times I've ever seen him use his right foot. Ball out of play for a throw-in to Wigan. So we've now had 11 minutes of stoppage time, and we were due 7. And Wigan are taking their time with the throw-in. They don't have any time. There literally isn't any time.
Yeah, come on, referees. Surely that's time now.
Yes, it is. Go. It's all over. Luton Town have won. They score in stoppage time and win this FA Cup tie. Wigan conceding a free kick. The first one was half cleared by Wigan. The next one came in. The Wigan defence was a little bit all over the place. It bobbled up towards Adebayo, and it fell nicely for him. He swiveled and struck it first time with his right foot. He was probably only 6 yards out, could barely miss, just had to make sure he hit the target, which he duly did, and that was it. A 2-1 lead for Luton and a 2-1 victory for the Hatters, and they're through to the next round. Jonathan Smith.
Yeah, absolutely delighted, and I'm sure the board of directors sat behind me will be really pleased as well, because that's another little bit of money in the pot, which could potentially be put towards a new signing in January for the promotion push, because you get good prize money at these stages now, the 3rd and 4th round, and the Grimsby to come, another game you'd fancy. But for me, on the balance of play, no more than they deserve. Luton created the better opportunities, played the better football, looked the stronger team, thoroughly deserved. It would have been, for me, a travesty if Wigan pinched it, because they've hardly created anything all night apart from bits and bobs on set pieces. Yeah, they've defended quite well and got bodies on the line, but credit to Luton coming up here on a cold Tuesday night and grinding that out. And Rob Edwards will be absolutely delighted. I know it's not the priority of the FA Cup, but it is lovely to get through and be in the hat and keep fighting away until the later rounds, hopefully.
And we were talking about Elijah Adebayo. Good management, kept him on the pitch for the full 90.
Yeah,
Jonathan, and he's got that goal, and that's 2 in 2 now, so it's paid off.
It was, yeah, because he wasn't really looking threatening, so to speak. He had a little half chance before that, but I wouldn't say he had his best game tonight, but he's come up with the winning goal, the bit of quality that was needed. And yeah, great piece of management, because I think if I'd have been Rob Edwards, I might have been tempted to go, you know what, I might give Cameron Jerome a go here for the last 15. Adebayo is not really had his best game, but no, kept him on, and yeah, got the rewards, got the winner. He will be the most popular man on that Luton team bus tonight, there's no doubt about it.
Rob Edwards goes and celebrates with those travelling Luton supporters, about 150 of them, and he really appreciates that they've come up from Bedfordshire, and rightly so, on a cold Tuesday evening in the middle of winter, freezing cold conditions, long journey to get back again, and they're back up here on Saturday. He spoke about how thankful he was of them before even coming up, and he now goes and gives them a good round of applause. And Rob Edwards has already built up a good little relationship with those Luton supporters, and fair play to those fans, and they got what they deserve right at the end. And those players don't have to go through another 30 minutes. That's the main thing.
Yeah, they'll be delighted now. It's focus on Saturday, rest up, come here Saturday and if we can get another result like this, it will be absolutely superb. But I'm delighted for those Luton Town fans to make this trip up north. 3-4 hour drive, getting home in the early hours of the morning. That was a great moment for them at the end. The 150 that were there, or whatever the number was, to celebrate that goal with the players like they did. They'll have loved that, and I'm sure a lot of Luton fans who were debating not to come, they'll listen to that and go, you know what, I wish I would have been there for that, because that was a nice moment for those Luton fans to run down and celebrate with Adebayo for the winner. And yeah, that made the journey worthwhile for those loyal supporters.
Jonathan Smith, who's alongside me, he's got a much shorter journey back home, just about 30 miles up north, is it?
Yeah, not far at all for me. 30 miles is not too bad at all for me. Wigan is a local one for me. There's lots of clubs in the northwest, but Wigan is one of the local ones. But really pleased to come and see Luton grab another victory.
And Jonathan will be here with Simon on Saturday for the championship game as well. Possibly more important than this one, probably, in the overall scheme of things. But this will add more money to the coffers. You get quite a bit of money when you win FA Cup matches these days. They've increased the funds, and if they win the next one against Grimsby through to the 5th round, more money, and then likelihood of a big game in that 5th round. But they've obviously got to get Grimsby first and foremost. But there we go. That's it from the DW Stadium. We'll hope to hear from Rob Edwards either on the programme tonight, or if not tonight, then certainly you'll be able to listen to it or hear some quotes online on the BBC Sport website and in the breakfast programme tomorrow morning. Full-time score then at the DW Stadium. A late goal for Luton Town's Elijah Adebayo. It's finished. Wigan Athletic 1, Luton Town 2.